Great morning, holy brothers and sisters! For the 21st of KISLEV in the Kitzur Likutei Moharan, today's lesson is called Consuming Coins. As for those who are sunken in money lust, the more money they have, the more sad, depressed, and worried they are. As stated in the dictum, the more money, the more worry. Avos 2:7. Therefore money cuts short and consumes these people's days, and indeed their entire lives, since nothing wastes a person's vitality like worry and sadness, as is known to students of healing. Accordingly, this person is bound to the face of the other side, to other gods, to death, depression, and idolatry, which is called a debt or obligation. See Rashi on Bereshis 14:15. Because it brings everything over to the side of debt. All who cleave to this craving are perpetually in debt. We see for ourselves how this burden hangs around people's necks so that they are not satisfied with the money they have, and therefore they borrow from others. They then imagine that they are reaping large profits, and subsequently they die as debtors. If they do not die as debtors in the literal sense, that they actually owe money to other people, they are nonetheless debtors to their idolatrous desire and craving for great wealth. Coins cut off and consume. Debt draws death and deep depression. We observe for ourselves too that even people who have enough money to live on, indeed even the rich and the enormously wealthy, still spend all their days chasing after profit with great effort. They expose themselves to perilous journeys, travel frequently from place to place, and endure great struggle and hardship for money, as if they had some enormous debt to pay hanging around their necks. In reality, the only debt they owe is to themselves, that is, to their craving, their idolatry, since they are so possessed by the desire for money that it is as if they owed some great debt. Essentially, they are debtors all their lives, and they die as debtors, to their own desire, for all their days are insufficient to pay this debt that they owe to their desire, since the craving for money has no limits or bounds, as in a person dies with only half his desires fulfilled. Koheles Rabbah 134. This whole idea is expressed in the verse, "They will not live out half their days, but I will trust in you." Tehillim 55:24. In other words, a person who is sunken in money lust does not trust in God, since he worships an idol. But I will trust in you that you can provide me with my livelihood with even the most minimal effort on my part, and I will be happy with my portion, and not be sunken in the desire for money. Run not like rabbits after riches. Be wholesomely happy with what we have. In fact, there is another way to rectify the desire for money, and that is to look to the source from which all the money and all influx of bounty comes into the world. When a person looks there, his desire is nullified. The reason for this is because there, at its source, this influx is entirely pure, ethereal light, and spiritual pleasure. It only becomes corporeal down below in this world. And who is so foolish as to leave such a place and cast aside spiritual delight in favor of material pleasure? It is impossible to look to that place, however, without first achieving physical intimate purity. As it is written, "From my flesh I will look upon God," Iyov 19:26. In other words, it is first necessary to sanctify the flesh, and then a person can look upon godliness. For this reason, the main rectification for money lust is physical intimate purity, and when a person has purified himself in this way, it is impossible for him to succumb to the desire for money. Draw down delights, lose lust from people's purity. As always, thank you so much for learning together. If you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow, and please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.